Hey everyone, happy Friday. It is finally the weekend, Zach.
Finally.
Not your weekend,
No.
but it's getting closer. But hey everyone, hope you had a great Friday. Wasn't it fun out there?
Yeah, it was nice, all that snow, but the fun is turning into a frozen situation where it could be pretty dangerous tonight.
It really could. There's going to be a lot of icy roads. Obviously, the pre-treated roads a lot better. I mean, the primary roads didn't even look like they had any snow on them. Problem is, we're getting pretty cold, so we've got a couple things that we have to talk about. Number one, freezing fog. Freezing fog is going to be an issue. We're already seeing reduced visibility.
Yeah.
People might be wondering, what is freezing fog? Well, all that essentially is your temperature is below freezing and you've got fog. And unlike fog when it's above freezing, you might think fog, well, it has to be above freezing because in order to have a cloud with super cooled water that's above freezing, um, if it's below freezing, you're going to have a frozen cloud. Not necessarily,
Yeah, I think it's the first time all season that we have a freezing fog advisory,
which means pretty serious.
which
Like it's kind of
means,
like a winter weather advisory
yeah,
where you could get some pretty, let's just say pretty slick bridges and overpasses. Edward, I see it was a wildfire earlier. It was actually a small structure fire. They got it under control pretty quickly. We haven't heard much in terms of what it was, but it was pointed in the direction very similar to where that Mark Industries fire was, and so we were kind of wondering what was going on. We didn't exactly know, but we were watching it. But let's talk about the freezing fog advisory. As you'll see here, there it is. We've got it for the area. Now, the Weather Service out of Little Rock not issuing that freezing fog advisory, but visibility is starting to get reduced, Zach, across the area. So,
let's take a look.
yeah, here's a look at get that off of there. Visibility about quarter mile or less, not out of the question, and this goes until 9 a.m. So if we look at some of these fog locations, this is going to be the newest information too. Wow, look at that, point
Oh,
0.8
wow. It's already
mile
going, yeah.
visibility going down, and Siloam Springs at 1.3. So let's see if we can see that freezing fog starting to develop. And you actually can look. I've got it right here on Mount Sequoia. You could see that freezing fog that's starting to pop up. How can you tell? Well, you can kind of see that haze. That haze looks like, you know, basically fog, and that's what it is, below freezing. So that's going to be an issue. Let's look at Siloam Springs. Look at the freezing fog setting up in Springdale too. You can actually see it when the light spins around, and you get that almost looks like light
Yeah,
beam,
yeah.
if you will.
Like a lighthouse on a
And Siloam
foggy night.
Springs, look at the fog settling in as well. This is understandable because the temperatures are below freezing and we've got widespread snow. We're going to talk about the snow totals as well. And we'll look at how everything did, And I see Mr. Ferguson on here. We'll talk about the NAM. The NAM, hey, every blind squirrel finds a nut every now and then, right? Or every
True.
broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Yeah,
That's another thing.
true.
Here's a look at the fog for areas 0.8, 2 mile visibility, and 2.5 in Bentonville. So we've got fog that's developing. And here's a look at the forecast for it. There's a look at that fog that's really starting to settle in. And so we're talking visibility reducing. Honestly, it might sound like just a bad movie title, but freezing fog is dangerous because you're driving along, you're thinking everything's okay, reduce visibility, get into some fog where you can't see as well, and then all of a sudden you slide off the road. Now, freezing fog does not cause power outages. It will not accumulate that much on power lines.
But there can be a thin glaze of ice on pretty much every outdoor surface, including your car, the roads. So definitely can cause impacts.
Nice ties.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Appreciate that. All right. Let's get to the snow system and some takeaways on it. First of all, we'll start off with this. This is the satellite radar loop. I'm going to step through this kind of slowly because I think this is pretty fascinating. So we'll start off at 6 a.m. Now, the Weather Service had the winter storm warning going 6 a.m. on Thursday until noon on Friday. And you know what? They absolutely drilled it.
Pretty good.
Perfect timing on this. Shout out to the Weather Service offices. Did an amazing job on this forecast. There's a look at 7:30, 8 o'clock. This is why the snow is already starting to pile up in southern LaFleur, southern Scott County. That precipitation line shifting northward. Now, this is where I thought things were interesting. You had a little lull in the precipitation. This is where you had a little bit of melting that was occurring. But boy, did that fill in, and that filled in majorly in the evening, which was expected. But another thing that wasn't expected is the banding that developed and how long it lasted. We knew banding would develop, but the dryer was coming in, but you could just see it continuing to reform off to the west. And it was the early morning hours that really put us over the top, added about 3 inches of snow that on top of the 2 inches and 3 inches, which put it at 6 to 8 instead of 3 to 5. And so, did we undershoot the totals? I'll be 100% honest. We did. We undershot the totals. And hey, you know what? It's a learning experience. One of the things that we looked at were computer models. Computer models such as the NAM were showing, 6 to 8. We were like, yeah, right. Because how often are computer models actually correct? And guess what? They were. It was. It was. So, Turd Ferguson, how close to the totals of the NAM that y'all talk so much dookie about? Hey, the NAM, it did pretty well. Another thing, too, is that we're talking about snow ratios. We were thinking 7, 8 to 1. If we added up the precipitation, 0.56 at Drake Field, converted that from the snow that was reported, which was 6.8. It wasn't 7.5 officially at Drake Field, but it was close enough where Josh and I were going to go for a run. I think he's about dead by now.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's how much snow we got. 6.8. That makes it a 12 to 1 ratio. So you melt that 0.56 inches of liquid equivalent, and you got, guess what? 6.8 inches, according to the official report. Now, there might have been just a little bit more that was added, but it was close to 7. That gives you a 12 to 1 ratio. The models on Buff Kit were showing 12 to 1.
They were doing a pretty good job.
We didn't believe it.
A ways out, because I was looking Monday night and it was showing 12 to 1.
And we just didn't believe it. I didn't, we knock the models a lot. I give them a lot of CRAAP, and they did a good job on this. And so, hey, it's a learning experience. Several things to note. The snow ratios were higher than what we expected. I know others had the higher snow totals. They were going, the Weather Service nailed it. They were going higher as well. We probably sometimes played it a little too conservative, but hey, everybody got some nice snow, and so there you go. It was nice. We are winning the war, but we lost this battle. Yep, that's what I like to say. So there's a look at the preliminary snow totals across the area. We showed this earlier, but on Northwest Arkansas, and let me know what you got, by the way. That says about 7 inches in Harrison. It says 4.6. This is according to the Weather Service reports, but you keep in mind these maps are really hard to adjust, so it's not automatic. But about 7 inches in Harrison, so a little over 4 through 6. And I know people are like, we got way more than this. It's not a perfect science. You can see the 6 to 8 across the area. 7 inches was the sweet spot. Then you got 8 to 10 that was in the River Valley. 10 to 12 across southern sections of the River Valley. Some places saw over 13 inches. So, Zach, watching this GFS, and we're going to talk about the long range. 7 to 8 in Avoca too. So here's some of the other amounts. That's a lot, Alexis. Yeah, I don't believe 75 inches of snow, Jan, unless you're in a Buffalo and a lake effect snow band. But Farmington 7.5, Siloam 7, Drakefield, there it is, officially 6.8. Could have added a little bit more after 7 o'clock. Rogers 6, and then Whitesboro 13. That's one of the bigger totals that we saw. Posted the public information statement for the National Weather Service, and they have the latest. But here's a time lapse of the fun. There's a few snow bands you see that are still lingering with that reduced visibility around 6, 7 o'clock, and that just led to a lot. Oh, look at the fog settling.
Yeah, you
can see it settling in right at the end. So. All right, Zach. So here's the deal. I ran 2 miles with Josh today just because it was close enough to 7 inches and wanted to make good on our word or Josh's word. Yeah, it wasn't even my challenge.
Yeah.
But I took Josh to the ringer in my neighborhood. Some pretty crazy hills.
Yeah.
What's your penalty?
Well, I don't know.
We were talking about this. I think we're gonna do some push-ups too.
Yeah.
You know, like when you you're in a game and you don't do something right, and you drop and give me 10, drop
Coach-
and give me 20.
Coach will stop everything.
Coach will stop everything. Push-ups.
Yeah.
I think we need to do some push-ups. So comment what you think would be a decent amount of push-ups.
Oh,
Realistically. Arm wrestle. We can't do that because I've got that golfer's elbow, and Zach would probably crush me.
Let's see.
What's in the red cup?
It's,
That's for us to know and you to never find out. Oh man, Edward
50.
is saying 50.
See, I think 50 is a good number.
50 is a good number?
Because it's not easy. You know, it's not impossible.
Yeah.
Amanda, 50.
What's the highest snow total? We saw about 13 inches. That was one of the highest totals in widespread. There might have been more on some of the higher elevations.
250.
That ain't happening at once, Michael. No, that's not happening.
Maybe over the course of a couple hours.
Yeah. 250 is a lot. Why is your face so flushed? Because I think he's not looking forward to these push-ups. Or actually probably is.
No, honestly, I don't mind a few push-ups.
We ain't doing that, Justin.
Shoulder plunge.
Oh, well, yeah, you added another word in there, too. Yeah, no, we're going to pass on that. Oh, yeah, we're doing it live. They're doing it live. This storm was fun, wasn't it? It was fun. I wish we went a little higher, didn't play it as conservative. It would have been good if we got the trends and we were seeing that and we just didn't second guess. Because sometimes the models will do that. They'll put something in, they'll increase it, and then it doesn't happen. There's so many negative factors that can cut away at snow totals. We probably should have known, though, when the sleet section didn't happen. And it was like,
it was all snow.
Yeah, now that I know, like, the sleet didn't happen, it was all snow. The models were kind of showing that. The warm nose did happen. 50 is fair. All right, Zach. Let's do this, man. We're doing 50 push-ups. And then we'll get to the forecast here later on in the week. So these are going to be some solid push-ups all the way down, all the way up. Not triangle, though, push-ups, but we can also do that. All right. All right, here we go. Ready, Zach? Yep. Are we doing a raise? We're not doing a raise.
No.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 5, 6, 7, 8, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, woo-hoo, 46, 7, 48, 49, all the way down. 50. Woo! There we go.
50 push-ups.
And that's after about 2 hours of sleep, running 2 miles.
See, that's healthy. That just gets the blood
That
flowing.
gets the blood flowing, gets the brain working. There we go.
Now we are ready for the next storm.
Zach, you only did 11.
11.
All right, there's 50 push-ups. I was not expecting this. Okay, let's talk about the next storm. I hate to do this, but we do have the potential for another storm system. A lot of uncertainty, a lot of questions, but here's the deal. If you're in a football game, after the coach makes you do 50 push-ups, guess what? You got to dust yourself off.
Get back in the game.
Get back in the game. That's what we're going to do.
Next event, got to redeem ourselves.
Yeah. Here is what we've got. So we got a system that comes in after the weekend on Monday. Monday is going to be dropping the temperature a little bit with this dry system. This is this Monday, okay? Just to let you know. You see Sunday, there's a front coming through with this system. After that comes through, we start to see some changes in our weather pattern, including a colder weather pattern,
A lot colder.
cross-polar flow. And now we got this cutoff low that, guess what, gets absorbed by another system diving south. Again, a lot of uncertainty, but this is a favorable pattern for precipitation and cold weather. And there's a potential that this produces some precipitation in the winter variety.
Should we show any future track models?
I'm going to. I'm going to. Now remember, I'm not going to show totals, but this is essentially the system out west for Sunday night. This is next Sunday, January 19th. So not this upcoming Sunday, but next Sunday. And Sunday afternoon, this system starts coming in into Monday morning. So Sunday night into Monday morning, another system on the way. Now you can see that this is the end of our forecast cycle. That's as far out as the model goes. However, the GFS barely has anything. In fact, this is the newest one. Let's see what it is. This is the 0Z GFS. Look at how it's updating here. Let's see. So the 0Z GFS has precipitation, and then it just moves off to the east, and then that's it. Doesn't even have nearly the same thing. So the GFS and the European are at ends with each other. I'll say this, the European did probably the worst out of this snowstorm the last couple of days. So the GFS is actually a winner with this system in terms of long range forecasts. It was better than the European, at least the European when it was getting closer. We did look at ensembles. Ensembles definitely show the potential for winter weather. We also have a warming trend that's going to be taking place by this week, next week. So we're looking at 40s and potentially even 50s.
Yeah, so Friday should be a pretty good day.
So what goes up must come down. We're not talking about push-ups either.
Again?
Look at no. Look at this. That, Zach, is some cold air, man.
Colder than what we just saw.
Yeah, that's
Look at how
super
tight
cold.
that gradient is between the warm air and the cold air. Florida between Kansas.
Yeah. Wow. That is some serious cold. And when we look at, let's do this here. Let's look at the 6 to 10 day outlook. Colder than normal. The 8 to 14 day outlook is likely colder than normal. I'm telling you, that's some dark blues for an 8 to 14 day outlook. The pattern favors it. The pattern favors colder weather. This is some Michigan cold. There's no doubt about that. Let's look at the 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook. Look at that, above average precipitation. The 8 to 14 day outlook, above average precipitation, most likely. So colder than normal, wetter than normal. That pattern, southwest flow, very favorable. Now, there are a lot of things that we have to iron out, but I will say this, the Weather Prediction Center already has that risk of snow across basically the entire Central Plains. Have you seen this before?
Haven't seen this latest one.
Okay, I'll show you. You won't believe it. Oh. All right. This is new too. Watch. Ready for this?
Oh. Risk of snow.
Yeah, I'm going to bring this up here. I'll show you what we're looking at. So this is the 8 to 14 day outlook. If we share the screen here, this is the probabilistic hazard. So 8 to 14 day, this is everything overlapped. And so this is essentially slight risk of much below normal temperatures, which, by the way, is just get it. Yeah, it's clipping our area because our location is right here. You can't see there's so much stuff that's on there. But if we take off the temperatures, take off the snow, the precipitation, take off the wind, what's the wind? Slight risk of high winds, 18th through the 20th. The snowfall, 18th through the 20th. And my goodness, that's like everything, Zach. We have everything over us, 8 to 14 days out.
Get ready for it all.
Wow. Let's step through each one here because you can't. There's so many things to see. So there's another way to do this. We scroll down here and let's first of all look at the temperature hazards. So here's the temperature hazards. Now you might notice it says slight risk. They're not going to go anything higher on a 8 to 14 day outlook. Precipitation hazards above normal precipitation. They may have a moderate risk of heavy precipitation to the southeast. Probably severe weather is going to happen too at the end of next weekend. And then the wind, that was kind of interesting. There's also wind with this system too. And then finally the snow hazards.
Temperatures dropping that quickly.
Look at that. That is a giant area of potential for slight risk for heavy snow.
But different track compared to what we just saw.
Is it?
Well, that system went well south.
Yeah, but the European had that far south. I'll say we'll go back to it and stand by. Hold on.
Let's see it.
So let's bring this up here. So here's the European. And there you see that precipitation, and look, it's got basically all over. So going back to this, watch, we'll kind of pan back and forth. There's that. And we could do a side by side here. See that? It's pretty similar, Zach.
No, I was talking about like this past system compared to next week.
Oh, yeah.
So like that trough isn't dipping that far south.
No, it's not as far south. I thought you were talking about the risk that the Weather Prediction Center has compared to what the models are showing. Yes, no, I got you what you're saying. Miana said something. I got to show you something too. I'll send you a video of what it looked like if you want. I believe if you find it on the demand, he says, so there's a second time on the screen on the weather. I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to show you a real cool snow sculpture. We won't say this is a snowman, but instead this is a snow-nado.
Look at that.
Like legitimate snow-nado.
Great job.
What did you do? Did you use a marker to mark the snow for the debris?
Yeah.
It's got to be. I love the debris signature too, like in the back. Like you see the damage path. Let's zoom in on that here and show you. Isn't that cool? I had to show that on the news tonight. That is just awesome. So if we zoom in here, I'll show you. Look at that detail right there. That's cool. So yeah, you got looks like even some debris around, but I love this in the back. See that? Just a huge
that's the path.
swath. That's the damage path. Yeah.
That's clever.
That's cool. Made some snow ice cream too. I still was able to do 50 push-ups even after the snow ice cream. I add a little milk to those ingredients too. Yeah, that's not bad. Snow ice cream is delicious, man.
Never had it.
Birthday dinner is on the 25th. Should I keep a close eye on that system? So 25th, boy, I really hope there isn't anything that's happening that week because that Friday I'll be taking some time off on the 24th. Just one Friday. We're hosting a 50th birthday party at our house.
Yeah.
No, I used food coloring and a napkin. I rubbed it on the snow. I'm one less of a back and some fingers. Yeah, no kidding. I bet. That's awesome. I can't get the Euro to go out more than 144 hours. That's because you're looking at the 18Z Euro. 18Z Euro doesn't go out as far, but the 12Z Euro will go out. Now, I don't know about the 0Z. It's still coming in, and I don't think it's updated yet. That's going to happen here pretty soon. You might be looking at the 0Z. Let's see real quick. Well, what do you think, Zach?
Well, I think it's January, and this
Wise
was
words.
weather is expected,
Wise words.
but half foot of snow is pretty good.
Yeah, that was a good system.
Yeah.
That was a big time system, no doubt. So we got our work cut out for us next week. We'll see. Potentially, the system could shift north. It could sit south.
Yeah,
Could
it's
shift
still
south.
long ways away. So if you're worried about your 25th birthday dinner, I mean, I wouldn't cancel it by any means.
Well, and this, by the way, is the following weekend too. It's not even that weekend. She's talking about the weekend of the
yeah,
25th, 26th. That's 2 weekends.
yeah.
out.
The timing as of right now is more Sunday nights.
Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday, a week
Following
from this
Sunday.
Sunday. Chad says you're going to winterize your pool. We can't because we have the hot tub flowing into the pool. In order to be able to use the hot tub, you got to have both of them working. But I have warmed the water to around 40, 45 degrees, just so when we get cold, like we do next week, I'm ahead of the game. And the water is going to take longer to get cold. But man, it's tough because the water does want to cool. So, what model looked pretty good for this past system, and what's the model saying for this potential weekend? So, both models had a pretty good. They came into agreement. I don't know, Zach. You were working Sunday for that system, Thursday
Yeah.
into Friday. What model was it better with, the European or the GFS? That far out.
GFS a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the European wasn't having the snow starting until later, and the GFS picked up on it happening earlier. And as far as the snowfall totals, I wasn't really showing those in detail. I was just showing in general, higher totals to our south,
Yeah.
lower totals to our north.
Yeah, you're right on that. That is true. If we lose power, we get wrecked. That's for sure. Edward asked this question: What are we guys doing? What are we doing for the May 26th anniversary? So that's a ways out. We did do that special. We'll probably do a year, in review, and then show some survivor stories and probably do some follow ups on people with the homes, like the Taos family and stuff like that. Yeah, Holly, we did mention it. As a matter of fact, we've got it right here. This is the risk of heavy snow, the 8 to 14-day outlook. And you can see that is an area over a large portion of our region. And not only that, but we've got this right here, which is basically, go back to it, the model showing pretty substantial systems coming in. And, you have to expect it with the teleconnections that were happening. And not only that, but the polar vortex could be getting into the vocabulary of some again with the cold weather coming in.
Yeah. We saw that cross polar flow. I think it's the first time this year that we've seen that.
Might be a sudden stratospheric warming event causing the weakening of the polar vortex. They were talking about that and how that was happening. So look at that. That's the system on Monday from the GFS. So Sunday night into Monday, but then at the same time, here's a model, the GFS. That was the European, by the way. Here's the GFS. It doesn't really have anything, and the system moves out. It does have a system, but it has the cold air coming in after the precipitation moves out. However, here's what we're going to do. Because we have the ability to do this, we'll go back a run. I'm going to go back a run to the 18Z. Let's do the 12Z. I'm going to show the 12Z from yesterday. And let's see what that looks like. See, it has precipitation. Now look at that. It's got snow potential. And then, it's got it. Sunday night into Monday. But then 6 hours later, guess what happened? It took it out again. So it's going back and forth, which is a sign of what we call wishy-washy. Look at that. There's a system. It's gone. So the 12Z had it, 18Z didn't have it, and the 0Z doesn't have it. So that's what we mean by the uncertainty. Are we hearing beeps? Or is that my ears?
I can't hear
All those push-ups. Oh yeah, you know what? We haven't shown the 7-day forecast. Wait, were we showing that at all? I don't think we were.
No. Deanne has been asking a question. I think twice here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that again. What do road conditions tomorrow morning look like? My daughter has to drive from Springdale to Fayetteville around 10 a.m.
10 a.m. is going to be better.
Yeah.
But still, if you get out any earlier, you're going to get some pretty slick roadways. Yeah, sorry, we didn't have that on the GFS. But anyways, the 12Z had it. 18Z, 0Z doesn't have it.
European has been pretty consistent with having it.
Yeah. Here is the freezing fog potential tonight. We're already seeing reduced visibility if you're just joining. We're looking at, well, look at that. It's dropping on and off, which is pretty typical of freezing fog. But we're only at 11 o'clock, and so we'll show you the temperatures too. I wonder really where we're at, Zach. I imagine pretty cold. Let's look. Yeah, you can see that freezing fog developing.
Some of the miles had temperatures increasing tonight briefly.
17.
But
That's not,
17 degrees. Yeah, so we lowered the lower temperatures. Originally had it at 14, now I put it at 12.
I think that's a pretty good idea. Yeah, traffic will be fine for the Razorback game. I think we'll be good there. Road conditions at 3 a.m. Golly, that's going to be, secondary roads are going to be a mess. So we'll have to see how that pans out. But the more and more that freezing fog sticks around, the more those bridges and overpasses will be pretty slick. Okay. Last thing to close out the 7-day, close out the broadcast is we'll look at the forecast tonight, tomorrow, and the 7-day. And then that'll shut it down. Here's a look at tonight. Mid to upper teens. Black ice forms, freezing fog potential. Tomorrow we got a warming trend. So you step out of Bud Walton Arena tomorrow, well, it really will be after the sun goes down. We'll probably already be back in the 30s, but we might briefly climb close to 40 degrees. And then later on in the day, on Sunday, we're going to be even warmer. But there's that weak system that swings in Sunday night, drags a cold front in. It'll drop the temperature a smidge, a few degrees. Stays pretty chilly on Tuesday, but then that warm up really transpires before the next system rolls in. Warming trend Wednesday, Thursday, Friday in the upper 40s. Some nice weather expected. Your River Valley forecast showing those temperatures hitting lower 50s. And what goes up must come down.
Yeah, and we saw that cold air on that 850 millibar temperature map. That's no joke. And with that system coming in, we could definitely see some more snow coming up. But again, it's far out.
Got to show that again in case you're just jumping on, because this is some frigid air. In fact, this is what it looked like. This is what it looked like basically today and tonight. And you can see that glancing blow of cold air. Then there's that system coming through Sunday night into Monday, cooling things off. But watch this dramatic warming, which makes me wonder if there's going to be severe weather to our southeast with the next system that rolls in. And look at this. This is like cross-polar flow, big-time cold. Look at that big drop in temperatures. Man, that is cold. I'll tell you this, that kind of looks a little bit like that big cold blast that happened on Valentine's Day of 2021. Do you remember that one? This is an event that caused basically Texas to shut down in terms of cold.
Oh, yeah. I was down there.
People died.
Oh, yeah. I was down there in Texas. And,
were you without power?
Yeah, for me, I was without power, I think just under a week, and I had no water either for just under a week. And my apartment was free. Well, it wasn't below freezing, but it was in the.
It was cold, huh?
I think it was like lower 40s.
No, wow.
Yeah, and people around town did die. That was really rough.
If this comes to fruition, I just want to kind of see what it looks like with the models that far out. Let's look. We'll look at the wide view temperatures. Now remember, this is just the model, but yeah, that's what I was looking at.
-17 in Denver.
Yeah, hold on. This is updating here. While it's updating, we'll wait. Yeah, people died. No, it wasn't. I know for a fact it wasn't 2022 because it was right after COVID.
It was 2021. I remember it.
I know for a fact it was.
Might have been a different cold blast, but
there was one in 22, but the one in 21 is what caused the record low at Drake Field, hitting -20.
Wow, yeah. And Texas, that power grid just could not handle it. A lot of people lost power, and it was crazy how we lost water, like the whole city.
Yeah,
pretty much. Like the pipes at like the water treatment plant. I forget exactly what happened, but that was a really big deal. I remember the grocery stores. There was no food. Remember, there was just like some bread.
This is a pretty cold. Let me show you here. We'll go to it now. The model's done loading, and remember this is one model run, but temperatures far out are easier to predict than precipitation, essentially, kind of. Let's see. And this is the far out as the model goes. So yeah, it stops updating at that point. That's really before that big cold blast comes in.
You can see Kansas already negative numbers.
Yeah, 6 degrees in the afternoon. That's Goodland too.
So Monday night could be very cold.
Golly. And if we have
the GFS probably go out that far.
Yeah, let's see what the GFS does. I don't think the GFS is going to be as cold because it still showed the cold coming in, but I don't think it's going to be quite as cold. Let's see. Let's let it load. It's not done loading yet. I do want to look at mediagrams here real quick. Let's see something real fast. Oof. That's cold.
Oh,
yeah.
Some negative numbers, European.
Yeah. So 14, 13 degrees for the high, or 16, 15, 17, 18. 3 days in the teens with highs, and morning lows below zero.
Wonder if there's going to be wind on the backside. Probably not.
Well, no, it had the slight risk of high winds.
Wouldn't that be before the cold gets there?
Not necessarily. Not with the cold blast, you can have those pretty stout winds.
Yeah.
I remember it was windy and it was cold. So yeah, the GFS is not quite as cold. Let me show you real fast. Again, this is all a ways out, but it does give you an idea. There you can see the cold dropping south. So it's got 18 on Monday. And I'm going to go to model parameters. Let's look at the GFS deterministic. Still cold, not as cold though.
For the previous model. That was showing colder. I guess not.
Showing warmer. Yeah, still cold. It does appear that our pattern is about to change. We get a big warm up and then we cool back down, and that cool down looks something else. You want to see? Let's see what the wind chill might be. I mean, we're looking long range, and I know this is a long ways out, but just to get kind of a handle of what potentially could happen. I think the wind chill we've got is a wide view. The Northwest Arkansas view. Let's see what happens here when this loads up. Oh, yeah.
Negative numbers during the afternoon.
What happened to the winds? Oh, they just weren't done loading. Yeah. This is weeks. There you go. There's our numbers right there. There's that front coming in. And then look at those wind chills, man. -5, -6, and then the model stops. So here's the key takeaways. This system was incredible, produced some widespread snow, most snow we've seen in a couple of years. Last time we had a heavy snow like this was in 2023 in January. I remember that one. It was pretty decent. It was a heavy, wet snow that caused a lot of power outages. This system produced 12-to-1 ratios, so that's why the snow totals were a little, let's just say close to double, a little less than double of what we predicted, because we were going 7 and it was about 12. And so, yeah, those snow amounts were impressive. The roads are going to be slick tonight, freezing fog, as well as the potential for black ice. And then finally, cold weather at the end of the next week into the weekend. And
maybe
dangerous cold potential.
Yeah, maybe some more
more winter weather. Yep, coming up. All right, guys. Where are you from? I've lived in Iowa and Wisconsin. So I have lived in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Oklahoma, and Texas, Amarillo. So I'm from Fayetteville. Looks like people are making a love connection on here. I don't know. Oh. Key takeaways: I need gloves and learn my lesson with socks. Yeah, my daughter had some really cold feet. Josh had some cold feet. Man, he was running in tennis shoes.
Yeah, that's not the best kind of footwear for sure.
Yeah, you're going to have to winterize this weekend. That's definitely a good idea. Hopefully it's just snow and doesn't cause power outages. Okay, guys, we're done. That's it. We got to tidy up some things before midnight. I'm going to stay off of social media this weekend. I got a lot of stuff I got to do. I got a lot of emails to answer. I've got a lot of work stuff that I got to do. I'm way behind, absolutely way behind. I know there's a lot of teachers out there that are asking for weather talks, requests. I've got a lot of emails from visits and tours, and I've got to catch up. So I'm going to stay off of social media. At the same time, I've got to spend some time with the family. Did that though. We had a great time and over the break. But man, what a way to come back!
Hit that gym.
Hit the gym.
Yes,
We're
sir.
hitting the gym tomorrow, no doubt. It'll be open. It'll be ready to go. Kind of hit the gym today, man.
Yeah,
running 2 miles on some super steep hills.
Yeah, that's no joke.
Doing 50 push-ups.
Yeah, if you didn't see, you guys didn't see that video, check that out.
It's on the live.
Yeah,
back
Josh
about
and
5
Dan.
minutes. Oh yeah, that was fun too.
Rocky IV style training.
You got it. You have to do 50 push-ups now. That's right.
Yeah, why not? Every night before bed, just do 50, and then you will see changes.
Yeah. Road at 2 p.m. Monday. A-okay. All good. All right, 45 minutes, Facebook Live. Everybody take care. Have a good one. God bless. Have a safe weekend. Zach will have the latest on if that system's going to continue to potentially develop.
Yep.
All right, take care, guys. Thanks for watching.